What if we woke up tomorrow to find that all the ice on Earth had melted instantly? Picture this: the polar ice caps, glaciers, frozen lakes, and snow-capped mountains all vanishing into nothing. No warning. No time to prepare. What would happen? Would we survive? Or would our world be forever changed? In this extraordinary journey, we explore the terrifying consequences of what happens when the Earth's ice disappears in a single catastrophic event, unveiling secrets of our planet we never imagined. The Earth has been slowly warming for decades. Oceans creep higher, summers scorch hotter, and winters feel shorter. Yet, the full scale of what's at stake remains mostly hidden. Ice seems so permanent, so unchanging, yet beneath its frozen surface, something sinister brews. Scientists have warned us for years the ice caps are melting, but what if it all disappeared in an instant? A chain reaction, triggered by a sudden shift in climate, could spark a global disaster. The North and South Poles, those frozen giants that have held the balance of our climate, are the most vulnerable. But if they were to collapse overnight, it would bring much more than rising seas. The very foundations of life as we know it would crack open. We think of ice as simply cold water, but it's far more. It's the cornerstone of Earth's climate system, regulating temperature, controlling ocean currents, and even influencing weather patterns. If the ice were to melt at once, we wouldn't just face floods, we'd be catapulted into a new, extreme world. Without ice, global weather would shift dramatically. Storms would intensify, rain would pour in deluges, and dry areas would become even drier. The once balanced seasons would go haywire, leading to crop failures and mass famine. As the oceans warm without the ice to cool them, the atmosphere would supercharge, creating a perfect storm for destruction. But there's something even more terrifying than rising seas. It's not just the immediate effects we need to fear. When ice melts, it doesn't just disappear. It interacts with the Earth's crust, releasing gases trapped in its depths for millennia. Methane and odorless, invisible gas begins to leak from the ocean floor, a silent killer that could exponentially accelerate global warming. This process, known as methane bomb, could ignite a chain reaction that pushes Earth's temperature into uncharted territory. But methane isn't the only danger lurking beneath the surface. The melting ice would destabilize vast amounts of water and nutrients, triggering enormous shifts in ocean currents. These currents, which have been the lifeblood of our climate system, would collapse, creating bizarre and dangerous weather patterns across the globe. Heat waves, cold snaps, and even regions of perpetual storms could become the new normal. In this altered world, the most vulnerable people aren't just those living near coastlines. Entire regions, once temperate and stable, are now battling extreme weather. The heartlands of agriculture, the Midwest of the United States, the breadbaskets of Europe and Asia would be devastated by unrelenting heat and unpredictable precipitation. Droughts and floods would become the norm, destroying crops and making once fertile land barren. But it's the small island nations, the coastal cities, and the low-lying countries that would face the most immediate threat. We're not just talking about a few feet of flooding. We're talking about entire nations disappearing beneath the waves. Miami, New York, London, and Jakarta, once teeming metropolises, would become uninhabitable, their streets swallowed by water. Even vast cities like Tokyo and Shanghai might find themselves facing a future they never imagined. In the wake of the melting, millions would be forced to flee their homes. Climate refugees, those who have already been displaced by rising waters and destroyed ecosystems, would become a global crisis. Governments would struggle to keep up, creating social and political turmoil. Borders would close, tensions would rise. Wars would break out over resources as nations fight for survival. The Earth, once teeming with life and culture, would be reshaped into a new, unrecognizable world where the survivors are pitted against each other for the last remaining resources. Food, fresh water, and shelter would be as valuable as gold. Those who hold these resources will have the power to shape the future of humanity. Survival in this new world would require ingenuity, unity, and an entirely new approach to how we view our planet. Could humanity adapt? Could we build resilient communities that thrive without the ice? There's hope. Big scientists are already working on geoengineering solutions to reverse some of the damage. From artificial ice sheets to ocean cooling technologies, there's a race against time to save what remains. But even with technology, there are no guarantees. Could we alter the course of history in time? Or would we find ourselves at the mercy of a rapidly changing Earth? In the final moments of this tale, as the last of the ice vanishes, a truth emerges, an unsettling revelation that humanity's fate is tied not only to the Earth, but to the fragile balance we've long taken for granted. The ice may be gone, but the planet will endure. It's up to us to decide how we will adapt to a new world, and whether we will learn from the lessons we've been given, or be doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. As the last ice melts and the Earth transforms before our eyes, one question remains: can we save ourselves before it's too late? The story isn't over yet. It's just beginning. The day the Earth melted isn't just a nightmare. It's a glimpse into a possible future we can still prevent. But the clock is ticking, and the ice is slowly disappearing, one drop at a time.